Up first, here on this edition of India Tonight, we are talking about the American cult bike maker, Harley Davidson. Now, Harley Davidson has launched their most affordable bike in India. Affordable, it's still priced between 2.29 lakh rupees a bike, and it could go up to 2.69 lakh rupees. And Harley Davidson has done this in partnership with Hero Moto in India. And they're also going to launch the bike on the same platform. It's going to happen in the next few months, we understand. Already, Hero Moto is going to develop and sell these bikes, we understand, under their own brand. So this X440 bike, it clearly challenges the dominance of Royal Enfield in the mid-range premium bike segment in India. What do we make of it? My colleague at ET Now, Sumit Chaturvedi, he has been able to take the bike out for a ride to see if it really lives up to all the expectations that anyone who would purchase a Harley Davidson bike would have. Let's take a look at it.
We are at the Hero's test facility in Jaipur, and we are today here going to ride Harley Davidson X440. Well, the most affordable and the most, we can say that, lower cc bike Harley Davidson has built. This has been designed in India. Talking about the design cues here, it's complete, we can say that, a street bike. It looks like a complete bike which is nimble, easy to handle. It has a straight handlebar, which means that it's easy to maneuver in city conditions. Well, overall, it's not been loaded with a lot of features. When we talk about features, instrumental panel we are talking about, it's not been loaded a lot of them, just one headlight and one instrument panel. That's it. It gives it a very simple feel. It gives it a feel of a street bike. Overall, it's one-cylinder engine of 440cc, liquid cooled and air cooled. It's got all other features for safety like ABS, anti-lock braking system. It has got that also. So it's overall a bike that can be good for everyday commuting. It's also something which is good for adventure, sports adventure category. So it's a bike which is powerful yet very agile. The cornerings are very good. This category of market is expanding fast. It's got a premium segment customers that are willing to spend money to get adventure and everyday riding as well. That's why it's special. The Harley Davidson, overall, this bike is made for India, made by Hero. Hero is also going to build many more bikes on this platform, especially for city market. It's not a rural market bike or commuter market bike. It's a very premium lifestyle segment bike, and that's what they want to do with this.
It's nice to take the bike out on a spin, isn't it? As far as a Harley is concerned, many would do it just about any time when called upon. But meanwhile, we're looking at the possibilities within the market as well. Hero MotoCorp and Harley's new bike, they're certainly ruffling a few feathers for sure. So what's going to be the impact on other premium bikes, especially the ones by Eicher? So our managing editor here at ET Now, Nikunj Dalmia, got together with my colleague Arvan, and they were discussing what could possibly happen within the equities universe as well, now that we are seeing this increased competition in the premium bike segment. Here it is.
Morgan Stanley is saying that in the short term, Eicher Motor next 30 days could underperform. Why will it underperform? The reasons are obvious. Look, when a dominant market share gets challenged by a brand or a company which has capability and the ability, then you have to get worried. The product, I will only say, but looking at the lineage, which is that the family from which has come from, Hero and Harley, technology and brand, will have a disruptive impact. Frankly, if you look at the Eicher stock, Avan, the glory days are over. Last 5 years, the stock has done nothing. This may not be such a big turn moment for Hero Motor, because for them, it's not going to be moving the needle immediately in FY24, dheere dheere hoga. But for Eicher, somebody is going to eat into their big pie. Yeah. And that is more disruptive because they've commanded a P multiple. So for Eicher, this is bad news. For Hero MotoCorp, this is an opportunity if they're able to maximize at an aggregate level.
All right, so that's from the equity standpoint. But now with the X440 revving into India's two-wheeler market, there are implications, isn't it, for players like Bajaj Auto and Eicher Motors. We're talking about it from an equity standpoint, but the competitive landscape is going to change. How so? Let's find out. Srishti, my colleague who tracks the automotive world, is joining us with some interesting takeaways from all the data she's been poring over. Srishti, do tell us what you've come away with, considering the competitive landscape is going to change quite radically, quite dramatically, some would say.
Well, yes, the dominance of Royal Enfield is at a threat as Hero Moto and Bajaj Auto have come up with their big plans and have made big launches in the premium motorcycle segment. Wherein the latest, Hero Moto and Harley Davidson have launched their Harley Davidson X440 in India at a very attractive price, wherein pricing starts from 2.29 lakhs and goes up to 2.69 lakhs. And if you will see, then the pricing is quite competitive given the fact that it is just at a premium of 15 to 20% from Eicher Motors Royal Enfield, and that too with a Harley Davidson tag. Don't forget that. Other than that, if we talk about the dealership presence of Hero MotoCorp in India, then that too is also sitting in a positive position because the company plans that across 1,000 dealerships of Harley in India right now, they're going to be launching these products first in those dealerships, and then they're going to be coming up with some premium dealerships as well. And Hero MotoCorp is having plans of around coming up with 100 premium dealerships by March 2024. Definitely it's a threat for Eicher Motors Royal Enfield. Why so? Because above 250cc segment that has the dominance of Eicher Motors Royal Enfield, no doubt, because more than 90% of the market share is what the company used to enjoy till date. But with Hero MotoCorp launching Harley Davidson at an attractive pricing, and even Bajaj Auto and Triumph have launched their product, the pricing and the India launch is expected tomorrow. So that's going to make an impact and a dent in the dominance of Eicher Motors Royal Enfield, and that's how the stock also reacted in today's trading session. While Hero MotoCorp was on the gaining side, Eicher Motors was seen to be nosediving.
Srishti, the price tag, of course, has a lot to do with the attractiveness and the kind of sales numbers, the kind of volumes any of these bikes are going to garner. It remains to be seen, but let's discuss the possibility again with Ketan Thakkar, who is Group Business Editor with Autocar India, is joining us on the show, along with Shekhar Shingare, the Director of the Harley Owners Group. So great to have you both with us, gentlemen. Ketan, you start off by telling us first, what do you make of these latest offerings in the Indian premium bike universe? The X440 rolled out yesterday. It's got a price tag of 2.29 lakh rupees. Tomorrow we have two new Triumph bikes, which is going to be a Speed and a Scrambler, which starts at around 2.6 lakhs odd. So the challenges for Royal Enfield are many. Do tell us about the big tags that come with it, the price tags, which may not be as big when you compare it to what we know Harley Davidson to bring to the table. So then one wonders, with such a price tag, is it Harley in just the name, or is the power and the attitude going to be missing? What do you think?
Well, first and foremost, the aggressive price tag is what has caught everyone's attention. No one was expecting to get a Harley Davidson at that price point. So clearly they've set a cat amongst the pigeon, and like you said, you do expect Bajaj and Triumph also to play a serious role here, given the fact that both these projects have been under works for the last 3 to 4 years. So it's not that Royal Enfield is not aware of the competition that is knocking at its door. So it is going to be one interesting battle. But just to caution you here, over the last a few years, we did see legendary brands like ESD and Java making their way into the market. Despite the initial excitement, you barely saw them making a mark in the market, and Royal Enfield was able to hold on to its own. And similarly, even established brand like Honda came out with its Honda Highness in the 350cc category. It did again create a mark for itself for a brief while, and then it stabilized. So it's not going to be easy. I think Royal Enfield has become a default choice for millions of motorcycle owners who are in the 150cc to 200cc category, and the price tag at which you get a Royal Enfield motorcycle, I think that will be very hard for the rivals to kind of attain. So it's going to be an interesting battle. I think all in all, it's a consumer who's going to gain, and with some fantastic offering, like you mentioned, across different brands.
Consumer of Harley Davidson as a brand. Shekhar, tell us about the Harley that you've been riding and what the entry of Harley Davidson with the kind of price tags that we're talking about, what does it do for you and your connection with the Harley Davidson brand?
Hi, everybody. My connection with Harley starts from 2011. I've got a super glide custom, Dyna, and been riding Harley since then and following his legacy, and I'm a diehard Harley fan. Getting this entry level back into the market, there's a famous dialogue of some Hindi movie. I would just like to add into that. Ki Harley abhi zinda hai. It just goes along with this 440 model. But yeah, it is going away from the legacy of Harley Davidson being a twin engine bike all throughout the years. And this thing is the first in the world that they're coming out with a single cylinder engine. But all said and done, again, it is an entry level bike which is required to get the entry level young crowd into the Harley fold. And of course, they're going to start upgrading to the higher models sooner or later. But the legacy is there. The Harley brand name is there. So it's going to be a selling point, and it's going to be a tough competition for Royal Enfield also.
I think it's going to be a selling point as far as the Indian consumer is concerned in premium bikes. When it comes to actually buying, what are they looking for? And do these bikes bring all that they're looking for on the table for the price that they are going to ask for? Do you think that's going to happen?
See, the first thing, somebody who's paying 2.29 lakhs, and which is a very good price band they have come up to. The Harley brand itself is a good this thing to pay for. Now, the riding quality and everything, I'm sure Hero and Harley has gone through all the pros and cons of the bike. And of course, I'm sure it will be much better than Royal Enfield doing on the roads.
It's hardly surprising, Shekhar, that you're saying that it's going to do better than Royal Enfield. Ketan, would you agree that this is going to match what the consumer, the Indian consumer in the premium bike category is looking for?
Well, definitely there's a lot of excitement around having a Harley at that price point. And the fact that, the work has been going on for the last 3 years. And, and it's not something that Harley has not done. I mean, Harley already has a 350cc bike in China. And world over, one has seen that, the bigger displacement bikes are giving into a lot more mid-sized motorcycles and a smaller displacement motorcycle. So, and with the total industry volume globally also kind of correcting, Harley was in fact looking at potential opportunities of how do you address a larger customer base. It's always a tough call for iconic brands like Harley, whether you go exclusive and high end or in a bid to access more customer base, lose that exclusivity and become mass premium. Something that Royal Enfield has done a very good job. So I think Harley is on a similar path. Over the last 3-4 years, the organization restructured itself. It has chosen its battle, and for India, it had to be a 440cc if it had to make a comeback. And I think it's an exciting proposition on hand. And given the fact that with Hero's local manufacturing capability and sourcing capability, the cost levels are going to be good. And with Harley's technology, I think it's a mouth-watering proposition at this point in time. You're going to see a lot of excitement in the space now.
When you're a premium bike owner and if you've owned a Harley, then what you're looking for is a great kind of infrastructure base to be able to service your bikes, to get all the parts that you require when you require them. Do you think that this is going to become easier, at least for even the bikes that you have, the entire ecosystem that is going to be created with the kind of Indian partnership they've got going? Is that something that you're looking forward to?
For me to answer?
Yes, Shekhar, please go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we would certainly see a good improvement. I mean, there is we are already having a bike service, even though Harley had exited for a period, they came back with Hero. partnership, our bikes are getting services and everything. The parts are also getting easily available. There is no this thing as such. Yeah, it will be more now with the 440 coming in. They will have to, of course, upgrade their workshop capabilities and the parts and availability and all that part. And I think so, which will come with a follow-up.
But Ketan, when you put these bikes, at least what are on offer right now, when you put them head to head, in terms of various categories that a potential buyer is going to look for, how do they fare? Have you been able to do the comparisons and the shootouts, and which one is doing better than the other on all the factors that a consumer would assess before making that decision to buy or not?
Well, if you were to purely go by the volumes in the Indian market, right now it is, Royal Enfield's cruiser and street bikes that are ruling the roost. I mean, the category itself is dominated by Royal Enfield's, easy riding, cruiser touring bikes, which account for almost 85% of the market. But one has seen, Royal Enfield also coming out with street bikes, the Himalayan, the adventure bike, the scrambler. So there are multiple options being made available to the Indian buyers, but it still continues to be that, the easygoing, touring, street bikes that is dominating the Indian sphere. However, you do have, a sizable sport bike market that is emerging. So, there is no end to the choices that the Indian buyer has, but, the large part still continues to be Royal Enfield street and cruiser bikes.
Shekhar, you are part of a biking club. So tell us about what you guys do as a club, because there is a certain aura, there is a certain pride in a brand. And that's something that people who subscribe to that brand and are part of it by owning certain products, they find this camaraderie going. Do you think that that's going to continue happening as far as ownership is concerned? There will be a lot more on Indian roads.
In fact, Vikram, I was just coming to that. Harley Owners Group, HOG is what we call ourselves, is a group owned by Harley, and they run the group. And the biggest part of attraction for the generation or the people who are going to come in the premium is a HOG. The rides what we do, the events what we do, and I don't think so none other brand is doing that compared to what Harley is doing. So as a HOG character, we always, almost every week, every Sunday, we have a breakfast rides, we have our overnighters, we have a bike nights, parties. So that lifestyle is what going to attract people to buy these bikes also and to come into that segment of organization, which none of the bikes, other brands are can match up to what HOG is doing for the biking community in Mumbai or in India, for that matter.
Well, these communities are going to get larger because there will be that many more who are going to want to be part of those exclusive clubs. And whether or not they retain their exclusivity, even if the brands don't retain their exclusivity, that remains to be seen. But definitely the companies, the partners, the Indian partners are going to be banking on those volumes. And as much as people aspire to own these brands, whether or not it actually happens on the ground, we haven't seen that happen in the past, like we're hearing from Ketan as well. But this time around, with these offerings, things could be different. We'll wait and watch. Thank you very much for joining us on this discussion, Ketan Thakkar and Shekhar Shingare. It's great to have you and your perspective on India Tonight.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, we're watching